All right, so we're Olivia really wants me to react to this
Yeah.
with Scoot here.
Well, I understand why she wants me here. Like she knows this is my alma mater.
To
This
play
is where
defense.
this is where I got my doctorate from. So I'm going to have a bit of intrinsic bias because I went to Prager U for 9 years to get my associate's degree. So
It cost 1 life per year. Now you're on your last one.
oh shit.
So this is grooming, but let's see what's going on.
I could be in case it goes away once you press play. I got a question about the boy in the bottom right. Is it it's
the age? Like, is it an old
yes,
man?
that is my question. Is that an old boy? Is it old boy?
Well,
is it Josh Brolin?
No, it's
Is it a chibi of an old man?
what's his name? I'm
Mr.
trying to pull the
Mr. Prager?
No, I'm trying to pull the
Steve Martin?
Directed by Chan-wook Park and starring what's his fucking name?
Josh Brolin.
God damn you. Now I feel weird not knowing the name of the guy that I really like.
The guy who played Old Boy?
Choi Min-shik. There we go.
Jet Li played Old Boy.
Thank you. All right.
In the original.
And by thank you, I mean my own brain because I said it before
hey,
anybody else did.
Good job, me.
Okay. So yeah, what Neon's re-release, they didn't say it would be this, but here we are. Leo
You got it.
and Layla. Lilo and Leia.
You still haven't gotten it.
Oh God, what's wrong with her face?
Oh dear. And like
this is like when you get killed in the ring, like what your face looks like. Like when they find the girl in the closet.
Layla may be in a.
Is this the whole?
Maybe
oh my God, that's the. This isn't even like a weird in between animation. I'm going frame by frame. That's the image they chose.
That's a still. That's a still
image they chose.
Yeah, she's in a post-ring situation. What's their relationship? P.S. They don't look of similar enough age to be dating. But hey, what do I know? Maybe I'm just a prude that way. She looks better now. She got unringed.
Free thinker with the PragerU logo. Oh,
that's wait. Are those for sale?
I'm sure those stickers are for sale.
Adam, we need to pause this right now. I need to make a quick purchase.
So PragerU has been approved for Florida education, and it's up to the teacher, but it's officially approved by Florida now.
But it's not mandatory yet?
It's not mandatory, but it's up to the teacher, and I mean, you know.
Wait, what do we have to do to make it mandatory?
Oh.
Here's the thing. I don't think it should be mandatory everywhere. Like that doesn't...
Better than womandatory.
Well, certainly. But that seems like going over the top. But I would like to push Florida as far as Florida can go. I think that's a fun social experiment. Physically.
Like the Bugs Bunny clip.
I'm gonna push it.
Yeah. Saw it off. Goodbye.
I love this. Sawing off America's way.
Yeah. Pushing it as far as we can go.
That does it. South America, take it away.
To Africa.
What's up with the face?
Hey, Florida,
You
go
look
back
stressed.
to Africa.
What is she saying? Okay, hold on.
Sorry, Layla.
We don't get real subtitles because they don't want to teach kids how to read, just how to think.
No,
You look stressed.
well put.
I'm just doing some research. What's
Hold on.
weird?
Pause again.
I'm doing research on BitChute.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, that's weird. I mean, you can get some done on Rumble.
They're saying 1 in 35 people who took the vaccine experience an adverse effect, and I think that's enough for me to make my own conclusions without looking into why or how the methodology of that study
or looking
was
at
proposed.
one other thing,
Or doing a Google search and clicking the top result and finding a very sensible answer as to why there would be that misconception.
or having beyond a 7th grade education. But my question was, I think the same person is voicing both people.
Oh.
For you? Yeah.
It's just Dennis Prager with pitch shifting.
Dennis Prager is doing pretty good voice work here, I gotta say.
How'd you guess? Columbus Day, or Native American Day, or Indigenous Peoples Day.
Boo.
I like how she can't even say it without rolling her eyes.
Indigenous Peoples Day.
It's weird, right? Yeah, some of the teachers at my school really don't like Christopher Columbus and don't think he should have a holiday, but some do.
It's the same with my teachers, and even some kids got into arguments about it today. You
For
find
the
any
free
good
thinkers
info?
did.
Kinda, but it's real mixed. The side against Columbus says he was a really mean guy who spread slavery, disease, and violence to people who would have been better off if he'd never gone to the New World.
But what
And
about
there's no nuance in between. You can't celebrate someone for,
No.
creating your culture and helping to start your country and also recognize that they did bad things. You can't do both. It can only be one.
But what about the people who were better off with slavery, disease, and violence? Are we just
I
forgetting
know, but
about
the
them?
side-
The forgotten generation?
For him, says he was a really courageous guy who loved exploring, inspired generations.
Who are you pointing at? Is that the correct hand?
I
Spread
think
Christianity
he's
and
got
Western
one
civilization to people who really
hand
benefited from
in his
new ways
pocket.
of thinking.
Okay, hold on. This is really okay. Hold on. That was a really big sentence
Important
that I
things
think
are happening.
is justifying killing Native Americans.
Oh, okay.
But or the cultural genocide,
Did he say, look what they were wearing?
maybe.
Okay.
No, but the side for him says he was a really courageous guy who loved exploring, inspired generations, and spread Christianity and Western civilization to people who really benefited from new ways of thinking and doing things.
Oh.
That's a really fucked up thing to say. Like you can still want it to be called Christopher Columbus Day, and you can still celebrate your own culture and and be like, yeah, you know what, I like what America is today, or I like the good parts of
I mean,
America.
who
You can
doesn't
still do that.
like what America is today?
But it's kind
crushing
of
it.
really
leaning heavily on Christianity.
well, I mean, like, is he not saying like, oh yeah, the Native Americans benefited from being forced into
Yeah, Columbus civilized those savages. Is what he said.
Those residential schools are pretty cool,
That sounds really
That
good.
ran until the 1980s.
I know.
Crazy.
What do you think? Which side is right?
I don't know. It seems really complicated.
Which side is white?
Okay, I'm gonna take a wild guess here.
Yeah.
And assume that they're not that nuance is not a side that they'll acknowledge.
Maybe you say that, but I think you're being very reductive. I actually majored in nuance at PragerU. So
I
think-
majored in old aunts and new uncles.
Idiot.
But both sides are just giving their opinions. It would be cool to hear from, the source. Huh?
Oh. Are you trying to fuck your sister?
Eh? These
Leo.
I think it's funny that like for decades you'd only see the uncanny valley in faces in computer animation, but PragerU has somehow
It's found a way
managed
to draw.
to do this in like a
Uncanny
2D animation style to somehow bring the uncanny valley back in this character.
It's
here.
kind of impressive.
That's very impressive. I'm shocked.
You want us to go talk to Christopher Columbus, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, sounds good. I hope he's not.
do you have this app?
Yes.
$40.93. Well, America's long been discovered.
Okay, so
It's been
I
almost
actually-
a whole year.
I would like
What would you like?
to know in what way PragerU is experiencing severe censorship at the bottom here.
Oh,
Because
interesting.
it says PragerU is experiencing severe censorship. Go to prageru.com/kids to watch our videos.
Is that where you are right now?
Does that mean that these videos are not allowed on other platforms? Because we're watching it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Is there a PragerU Kids video even that has been removed from YouTube for being too
Woke.
blank? Like, is that the implication? Are there things
For telling
are there
too
things
much
that
truth.
does Dennis Prager really want to say certain things to kids that he's not allowed to say on YouTube, and so you have to go to the website?
There's a few-
That's what I'm fucking wondering right
There's a few things that I'd like to say to kids that I couldn't necessarily say on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So I get where Dennis is coming from.
Okay.
You know what? Maybe I am also experiencing severe censorship. Please go to scoot.com/kids to watch my videos.
now. Okay.
Don't go there.
Well, this is animation.
Don't be
Looking
alarmed,
good,
sir.
Chris.
Don't worry about it. I'm wrapping up the wildest journey maybe that anyone's ever taken.
Italy by way
Nothing
of
phases
Romania.
me. What, you from the future?
How'd you guess?
Either that or Indians? I've kinda had a hard time telling who's what lately.
So everyone you don't know
Yeah.
is a time traveler
Yeah.
or an Indian.
They should have brought fruit for the scurvy.
Layla,
True.
LW needs it.
it's my brother Leo.
Poor
And we
LW.
need to learn about you.
We live 500 years from now, and there's a holiday for you, but
He just shoots them with a musket. Like, witch!
Yeah, monster witch.
controversial, and we're confused.
Nice! I have a holiday? Well,
Nice.
caramba! I should!
Is
I
good.
worked so hard to get to this point, and what I just accomplished was insane.
Will you tell us
What?
about your
Sailing
journey?
for a while and hitting
Around-
land and thinking it was India, except it was the Caribbean.
Me to give you a little biographical information so it all makes sense.
Okay.
I'm sorry, did you
I
just
was-
have this lined up in case time traveling children showed up on your Nina, Pinta, Santa Maria, whichever ship you happen to be on?
Raised in the port town of Genoa along the Mediterranean
They
Sea.
make good salami.
My papa was a wool weaver, and most boys.
Your papa
just
was a
did whatever
werewolf?
Their dads did, but I was different. Every day I would look out at the sea and wonder what was out there beyond just what I could
Ah!
see.
I see what you did there.
Ah! Ah!
This
So you
is
were curious?
more fun than most of what I remember from school. So far, I'm completely on board.
The closed eyelid.
Oh,
is-
those are wild. It's like two smileys.
Yeah. This is terrifying.
His eyes are smiling. When Irish eyes are smiling.
Oh my god. I'm like, if you squint, you can imagine these eyebrows are his eyes and that these are bags under his
Oh
eyes.
no! Why'd you do that?
Ah!
Why'd you do that to me? Why'd you put that evil on me?
Hey!
Yes?
See, and so as a teenager and a young man, I did everything I could
Help.
to cure my curious nature. I volunteered for all kinds of crazy sea adventures, and I took my first one at 14.
Oh,
Yeah, and soon
What's your
sailed to
craziest sea
Iceland, Ireland,
adventure?
and Africa.
Sailed right over the land.
I taught myself to read,
Oh, I mean, he's a
learn
good
languages,
sailor.
and read everything I could about
Doesn't
geography,
let land get in
astronomy,
his
and
way.
exploration, including my favorite book, The Travels of
The Bible?
Marco Polo.
Marco.
Polo.
I mean, that's
Okay.
fun. Don't be mean. That's fun.
it's a
That's
game
fun for
called
everyone.
Pools. Never mind.
Never mind.
It's only in swimming pools.
Marco Polo is the greatest explorer who ever lived. In fact, the trade routes he wrote of and their closing is basically why I'm here right now.
What do you mean?
Well, first, the writings of his amazing journey to the Far East
Silk Road.
They
Good
shut it
website.
inspired me to be an explorer. But then, 40 years ago, when the Muslims conquered Constantinople and closed
Yeah,
down the
take
Silk Road,
that, former Byzantium.
they made it impossible to get by land from Europe to Asia. And that opened up the desire and opportunity to figure out a path by the sea.
What was so important about getting from Europe to
I can't. You
Spices.
know, what conservatives don't understand is like you can't just make kids content and just kids will like it. You have to make entertaining content for kids. Like that, they
No.
don't understand that. You have to make no kid. This is boring as fuck. No kid's gonna absorb any of this. Like
No.
you gotta be like, you gotta have like the craziest parents and be homeschooled and like rigorously like they're like gonna quiz you on this shit. They're like, what did they say at 6 minutes and 14 seconds in the Prager U video? Like, no, this is the most boring shit ever.
Leo,
Yeah, Magic School Bus was fucking awesome. Bill Nye was fucking awesome. Like they're all entertaining educational programs, you know?
we
You
got
gotta
to trade.
grab kids' attention, or at least grab kids.
What was the one that what was it called? The Jay Baruchel and Alicia Cuthbert show? The Canadian one?
Popular Mechanics
Yeah,
for
Popular
Kids?
Mechanics for Kids was so dope. Yeah. Anybody outside of Canada, that was a great show.
Make me guess another show with an underage version of a hot woman.
Wow.
I'm really good at
They have
those.
so much cool stuff in places like India, China, and the Spice Islands.
Let me guess. Spices.
Yeah.
Smarty pants. If you tried our Middle Ages European food, you would know how much we need those spices.
So you want to get
Spices
from
used
Asia
to
and make
be
a lot of money?
so important. Like they were
Valuable.
like food was so bland. We had to travel most of the world to get food to not suck.
No, I wanted to explore the world and see things that
And
nobody
China was
had
just
from
sitting on all of it,
ever seen
greedy.
before. But I didn't have enough money for a crazy sea adventure, so I had to get a sponsor. I needed to
I
convince
think
a
it should be canonically called Columbus's Crazy Sea Adventure.
Yeah.
I think he never would have lost the holiday if it had
True.
been called. Well, like, who's mad at that? A crazy
Nobody.
sea adventure? That's awesome.
Yeah.
really rich person to pay for my trips.
Ah, so you had to be persuasive and tell somebody that paying for your trip would make them even more money. You get to explore, and they get spices and stuff from Asia.
Oh God, her arms and like the dead hand movement. And look at this.
Explore, and they get spices and stuff from Asia
Like, what are you doing?
to sell
Yeah, I agree. She is hot.
Correcto. So since the Muslims had cut off all the land trade routes to Asia, and we Europeans still wanted Asian things, I came up with a
What if we go the other way to Asia?
I don't like how his eyes are the same color as the ocean because it makes it look like he's got dead holes in his face.
Well, that actually wasn't intended, but someone, as a prank when
He's
he
a
was
ghost.
sleeping, painted green over his eyelids, and then when they green screened this guy onto the
Oh.
map, it looks like the eyes are transparent.
crazy plan to get there by
That was a
sailing
long way
west,
to go, Scott.
Why was that crazy?
because no one knew if it could be done.
Is that because people thought the world was flat?
No, that's a myth.
Are they also?
Based.
Are the children talking at 1.5 speed?
I've changed it to 1.5 speed because I was bored
That makes more sense.
because it's very boring.
It is
Since
very
the time
boring.
of the ancient Greeks, educated people have known the world is round and could possibly be sailed around. But-
It's a prevailing theory that the world is round, but we have yet to actually prove it, and that it's not a flat disc on top of a turtle's back.
We have yet to prove that Australia isn't faking it.
Yeah,
By
as someone
faking being real.
as someone who has been to Australia, I didn't really buy it, honestly.
Earth was believed to be so big that with so much ocean between Europe and Asia, no way could a ship hold enough food and water for its crew to survive a westward journey.
Bah!
Damn.
It sinks.
Imagine if that had happened.
You thought differently?
I did my own calculations and thought maybe could be done. I might have played with the numbers a bit, but I was desperate to give it
No,
a try.
so I
Sounds like your
lied.
sponsor needed to be desperate too.
I first asked the king of
It's so boring.
It is boring.
It's like you could make this more visually interesting even just with the audio.
I
Like,
mean,
you could just do more with the animation. It's so cheap. It's so
it's
cheap.
super-
It's weird how cheap it is because it like
because
conservative
of all the
content has
money
so
that
much
PragerU
money
has.
fucking
I mean, that's
pumping
true.
into it, right?
Yeah.
Like this shit, the conservative content, like they get funded by like oil billionaires. Like the Daily Wire is like literally like, and then they have some programs where they're like pretending it's like a person like their sets look like homes, like fuck, or like that one girl on the Femme Shapiro. I don't know if you've seen her. That's not her name, but she looks like Ben Shapiro, but like pretending to be like a 20-year-old girl that likes video games or something.
Oh, I've been misunderstanding. I thought Ben.
no, not
Shapiro-
his sister.
I thought Ben Shapiro like got the surgery, and I was
okay.
I was celebrating him. I'm like, hey, good for you, living your life.
Yeah, there's a younger girl who's like a part of Daily Wire, and she's like just making bank reading the scripts and just
girl.
like pretending to be in like a very suspiciously well lit like home setup that's just obviously a set.
A job's a job.
It's so fucked.
Portugal, but his advisors
Yeah,
told
like,
him
Brett
it
is
would never
that's
work.
Brett Cooper? I forget what the show's called. though.
At least minimum make this more entertaining for kids, but ideally, like, I would like this to go harder politically. I want to hear the phrase "they were asking for it."
work. So he said no. Then I tried Spain, and they said no too. But after 6 years of bugging their king and queen, Ferdinand and Isabella, I finally got them to agree to pay for my voyage west out to the great unknown.
After the better part of a decade, blackmailing royalty.
Pay for my voyage. Okay.
God, Ferdinand, why are you being like this? Just give me 3 boats.
It took 6
God, I'm
years.
trying to go to Asia.
Only give in?
The other way.
For sure. But it's probably no coincidence that after hundreds of years of fighting to kick the Muslim invaders out of their country in what was known as the Reconquista, the Spanish monarchs sent me on a mission to find new trade routes and maybe even find gold and riches.
Go find
So
new
sailors broke and
Muslims.
needed money. They were desperate.
You said it, not me. But Ferdinand and Isabella took
Could you imagine someone with motion sickness like vomiting watching this? Like just the perspective on the boat and just how like tilty it is. Like, oh.
chance of a
I
crazy
don't
idea.
have
And
motion
here we are.
sickness, and
I'm now sailing back to
I'm
Spain to
feeling
show all
very
kinds
bad
of
right
amazing
now.
things I found and tell of the wonders of the lands I've seen.
Okay, now that we have the backstory, we've got some questions. There are a lot of people in our time upset about how you acted once you found all these amazing things in these new lands.
what'd I do? What's everyone mad about?
Ah, that's right. You said I'm controversial.
Ah, yes, the genocide.
There's a controversial thing I have yet to do because I'm on my way there right now.
No, it's 1493, so he's already done shit.
Oh, he's already done it. Okay.
I have no
I mean, he's
idea.
not finished, but he's
Hey.
done some shit.
Got nothing to hide? Ask away.
Okay, first,
Genocide?
your sailing plan was right, and all your doubters were wrong.
Well, they were wrong that my crew and I were going to die because after 10 weeks of sailing west,
Only some of them die.
we spotted land.
Your trip was
And
10
it was
weeks?
India, right?
You can't
That's
even
why
handle a
we
2-hour
call
car ride.
these kind of Indians now? Because you nailed it?
Greatness
first try?
requires patience.
You know the land you found wasn't India, right?
Really?
What?
Caramba!
It's so annoying.
I suspected something was a little off, but my calculations suggested I.
The type of animation feels like it's auto-generated in like remember those like remember in like 2006
I do.
you could like put you could like put your voice into like a thing and it would just make its own like a flash browser website or some shit.
We talking jib jab?
Yeah, like a jib jab.
Love a jib jab.
Jib jab. You know?
I think this is a jib jab.
This is a jib jab.
had reached India, or at least the Far East.
So what happened?
I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't like slow motion.
I thought the background disappeared at the end of the shot. I'm very autistic about single frames here.
They didn't have budget for
So
background the
what happened when you
whole
met the native
time.
people, who obviously discovered the land
I'm like the Flash, I just see faster.
before you
That's
did.
right.
The Indians.
The first people we met were great. The Taino.
The second people
They
were awful, so we
peaceful,
killed them.
curious, and really helpful. I could tell right away that they were highly intelligent. They even were able to quickly mimic everything we said to them. I ordered my men to treat them well.
I'm sorry, Mr. Columbus, but I heard at school that you spoiled paradise and you brought slavery.
Spoiled paradise is an
That's-
interest. Like that's
fun.
really loaded.
I like that.
That's a really funny
lot.
caricature of
It
the other
was the
position. Although
guard-
I'm sure some people believe that, but I don't know. I don't know if in schools there's some teachers saying "spoiled paradise."
Is that not how you were taught?
no?
Like I don't remember a lot from school because it's been probably 4, 5, 6 years since I graduated high school by now. But if there's one takeaway from social studies, it was that Columbus spoiled paradise. It was the Garden of Eden, and that motherfucker.
Damn it.
And murder to peaceful people.
Okay, hold on.
Well,
I'm sorry, Mr.
They paved paradise and put up a parking lot.
True.
I'm sorry, Mr. Columbus, but I heard at school that you spoiled paradise and you brought slavery and murder to peaceful people.
Yes, and
Go?
Sorry. It's what I read and heard at school.
Okay. My prediction is he's going to say slavery and murder already existed.
ooh, that's a good way to go.
So it's okay.
I like that.
We did it.
caramba! Those are some accusations.
But yes,
The place I discovered was
Yes, I did all of that.
beautiful, but it wasn't exactly a paradise of civilization,
it was a shithole.
and the native people were far from peaceful.
But you just said that
You said they were
Taino
awesome.
were peaceful.
They pretty much are. But there are other tribes who
I knew
aren't.
it. The first people we met were great. The rest were trash, and they had to go.
The Taino I had met had cuts and scars and bruises all over them. I asked why, and they told me about the Caribs, who are vicious, warring cannibals.
Cannibals? Like they
Eat people. See.
Whoa.
He
We
kind
taught
of
them how to stop eating people.
he saved them.
Right?
They just didn't read the Bible yet. So
Yeah,
Hey, all the things that are bad in the world I come from, jealousy, lying, murder, war, it all exists in the land I just found too.
That is exactly what I said he would say. That is literally what I said he would say.
Count it.
But in Europe, we draw the line at things like eating people and humans.
Ah! Oh,
Hey, we
God.
do some bad stuff.
Oh my God, that's
but
so funny.
these guys
At least
took it
we drew the
too
line.
far. We
drew the line.
We murder and genocide, but we're usually not eating them.
That's really funny.
I mean, come on.
Look, okay. There might have been some raping and pillaging and some genocide.
But the eating?
We didn't,
The
at
eating?
least we drew the line.
Come
They were
on.
doing that too. God, I like so much of like dumbass political discourse is just this weird like, but you know, other people did it.
Yeah.
Like so
Other
you
people did the
can't
bad
you
thing, we
can't
could do
be
the bad thing.
introspective about your own culture in any way.
No.
You're like America's where slavery came to die. Like,
Ooh.
that doesn't mean slavery was good.
Huh.
Like,
Damn. I haven't thought about that.
America was the
I like
last
that.
place that was socially acceptable to have slaves. I know there's a lot of slavery happening in China and et cetera, right? I know it still exists, and I know that statistically there's more slaves today than ever before.
Yeah, but they're making like really nice soccer stadiums now.
Yeah. And also now we have prison labor, so you don't need slaves.
Yeah.
Nice.
The system works.
In Europe, we draw the line at things like eating people.
Yeah. I mean, come on, natives.
This is, oh my God, this is really funny.
This is picking up though. I like it.
Sacrifice.
What do you mean you don't do human sacrifice? That's like a very Christian thing, isn't it?
But not in the same way because they don't have a lot of volcanic activity in Europe.
Aren't there
so
like
they're not able to throw virgins into volcanoes.
Are there like a bunch of passages in the Bible that talk about like sacrificing babies and shit?
I mean, yes, but like the most famous one is actually where God tricks someone into doing it and they're gonna do it. And then God's like, JK, just wanted to see if you would. And the guy's like, you got me.
Found too. But in Europe, we draw
Abraham,
the line at
question
things
mark?
like eating
I don't know my Bible.
people and human sacrifice. Some of the native folks from where I just left do those things regularly. So,
Disgusting.
these people in your time
We
who
had to
think it
fix
was
them.
a peaceful paradise are misinformed.
That is, it doesn't really matter whether or not it was a peaceful paradise. Like, does that mean that, so if, I'm sure that many conservatives agree that America is currently not peaceful and that it is a very, like,
I heard there's
politically contentious,
I heard
like,
there's a civil war going on.
yeah, like a lot of
sort of
people buy
boogaloo?
into this idea that they're, you know, the United States is far from united. Does that therefore justify a more peaceful nation invading the United States and being like, yeah, you know, we're invading and we're taking your land, but like we're making it more peaceful because you guys couldn't figure it out. Like at least we drew the line at like toddlers not shooting people like once a week for the past 2 years.
Do you want me to answer that question? Because yes, I would 100% advocate for that. That'd be awesome.
In a video game?
What? No, I think America should be colonized. I don't need to say that in the video game.
By whomst?
By whomst? Who would be interesting?
Tigers?
I mean, tigers would be great.
Horsies?
Tigers and horses, and then who knows where things go from there.
Yeah.
Or lying.
Yeah, but what about slavery? You didn't deny that.
Deny?
No, I love slavery.
Sorry, I think the background disappeared again. Yeah, it did. You know,
The
okay, so
last
there's
frame of background is tough.
well, this one's the first frame actually.
Oh, sorry.
This one's the first frame this time. There's something called the snap feature that you can turn on in various editing softwares, and I'm sure exists in animation, where when you change a scene and then you add a layer, it'll snap your cursor to where the cut is, and so you don't have to worry about things like this if you have that turned on. So
Seems
Dennis,
like a great tool.
Dennis, if you're listening, I know
Dennis?
you hand animate all of these yourself.
Yeah.
Turn on snapping.
Do snap.
And that won't happen.
Also, Dennis, hit me up on Snapchat.
No. Slavery is as old as time and has taken place in every corner of the world. Even
Just a
amongst
heads up, this is Columbus saying slavery's okay.
Pretty much.
Just letting folks know where we're at.
It's a time travel.
Tale as old as time. Slavery.
I just left. Being taken as a slave is better than being killed, no?
I mean, nah, it depends how bad. If it's real bad, I think I'd rather be killed. Where do you stand on slavery versus death?
I mean,
you heard it here first. Adam, pro-slavery.
I don't think that that's a general statement you can make to apply to people and choose for them.
No, I'm choosing for me. Maybe
slavery or death. I don't know.
It depends on the slavery, right?
Is my master going to be cool? Does he play video games?
Exactly.
Does he play Xbox?
I would need to know on the type of slave. I think I would take death over bad slavery. Chill slavery, obviously, that'd be fine.
Okay.
Amongst the people I just left. Being taken as a slave is better than being killed, no?
Columbus agrees.
I think there's something extra weird about like the character in this saying this to children, and then also zoom out and it's Dennis Prager saying it to the children watching this, essentially, or like his organization.
Like, this is what we needed to get into schools.
Yeah. So this is kind of weird.
No.
I don't see the problem.
Wow!
I didn't expect it to be like
I
that.
certainly
blatant.
didn't either. Like,
That's a,
Give me slavery.
Columbus will
Give
start
me
a thought
death.
and then we'll say some shit on it and then make, like, you know, exaggerated jokes about what they're gonna say, but then they just do it for real. I kind of like that. They're doing my work for me. Like, if I was to react to this again, knowing the full content, I think I would just be quiet.
This is his mouth, and this is a big mole. This is his mouth right here.
No, stop!
And this is a big mole.
Dude, stop perspectiving me. I can't. I hate the mole. I hate the mole. I hate the weird eyes with bags under them on the kid. I can't do it.
All right, let's hear the whole
I would
thing
love
all
to.
together. Let's from start to finish.
Yep.
Here's the argument.
Clean take, Chris.
Here's the argument.
In Europe, we draw the line at things like eating people and human sacrifice. Some of the native folks from where I just left do those things regularly. So, these people in your time who think it was a peaceful paradise are misinformed. Or lying.
Or lying
Yeah,
also.
but what about
important.
slavery?
That's crazy.
You didn't deny that.
Deny? No. Slavery is as old as time and has taken place in every corner of the world, even amongst the people I just left. Being taken as a slave is better than being killed, no?
Go off, Queen.
I don't see the problem.
That's amazing.
He never once said like slavery. Like he's smiling and he like said literally nothing bad about slavery.
I mean, he knows it's pretty cool. It's 1493. Slavery rocks.
This is pretty cool.
Well, in our time, we view slavery as being evil and terrible.
What?
Ah, magnifico.
Oh,
Sorry.
Well, he's come
hold
around on
one
it.
second. The background disappeared again. They can't figure it out
snap.
very well.
Dennis.
Ah, magnifico. That's wonderful. I am glad humanity has reached such a time. But you said you're from 500 years in the future? How can you come here to the 15th century and judge me by your...
Who do you think you are? You come here to my century on my ship?
Is it bad that we're retroactively judging people from 500 years ago about things that they did like slavery?
Adam,
I don't know.
it was
this
a
is like
different
trying to have.
time.
Oh my god!
It was a different time.
There's like
we did slavery.
I'm learning more and more about like certain people and just the way that their brains operate, and it's like you got Christopher Columbus. It's attached to like America, and then if you say anything bad about him,
Then you're saying something bad about
Then it's
America.
like a personal attack
Exactly.
to someone who feels such a strong identity with the brand of America or the concept of America or the identity of America, right? And so, you know, damn, it's like the Mario movie, you know?
Oh,
it's like certain
in that
superhero
it's-
characters are like, you know, people get really uppity about like just very, very strange things.
Oh, I thought you meant it was just like the Mario movie because it's awesome.
People attach their own identities onto other things in such a very bizarre way.
I am Mario.
I don't know.
No, I am Mario. They're calling it Mario Spartacus.
Just I don't know. It's so bizarre. Like it seems like it's coming from a place of like feeling threatened or attacked by there being any sort of criticism or introspection about people from the past if they're connected. Like
by you having attached your identity to a stupid thing.
yeah. It's very odd.
Standards from the 21st
Now let me
century.
ask you this: slavery or Mario movie?
For president?
Yeah,
Slavery for president.
clip it.
I'm just like the
Slavery for president.
okay. Also, Olivia, zoom in. His eyeball is
Zoom
not.
in. Enhance.
It's his. This
It's
part.
Pac-Man.
This Pac-Man.
Yeah,
These two Pac-Men are like a weird separate layer that's kind of
a little past the
outside
white
of
the
where it's leaving the socket,
They're
which
trying
is
to
disturbing. It's very disturbing.
Well, I think the Pac-Men saw some dots and ghosts outside of the corneas in which they exist, and they're maybe trying to branch out.
Yeah. So I'm trying my best to understand the perspective of like you can still. I don't think Christopher Columbus is like being offended that people are saying slavery is bad now. You know, as in like he's
Yeah.
kind of dead. And
He's
I don't know what we're doing trying to
pretty dead.
protect him from this,
His
to
feelings.
shield him from this criticism.
Guys, what if we hurt Christopher Columbus's feelings? Has anyone thought of that?
Like, yeah, people are a product of their time. You know, I don't think anybody's denying that, but you can still be like, yeah, slavery's not good.
Maybe don't do
maybe not a good
slavery.
thing.
Maybe if you had to do it over, don't do
know.
a slavery.
For those in the future to look back and do this is
Disgusting.
Well, estupido.
It's
Are you
stupid
calling
though.
me
It's stupid.
It's stupid.
Certainly not.
To
I
judge
can
the
tell you.
past is stupid.
I like calling people 500 years from the future stupid.
I plan to do it.
You're a very smart young lady. But the idea
He's
of
hitting on
throwing
her.
away the past because of your present values is... Listen.
Call her stupid again.
calling the holiday a different name isn't throwing away the past. Acknowledging that you committed like basically genocide and slavery and like acknowledging some of the atrocities that come with something is not throwing away the past. That's acknowledging it. That's coming to terms with it. You can still like your country. You can still like no one's stopping you from liking your country.
You can still be a patriot. You can still storm the Capitol, but then on the other hand, you can still like acknowledge
weird.
this. Imagine calling someone with a handheld time machine stupid.
Love and am thankful for the ancient Greeks. But they did
They
lots
had
of things
too
that
much
here
gay
in
sex.
1493 I do not agree with.
That's probably what he was talking about.
I mean, I hope he
What
says
else?
it. Like we're gonna joke about it, and then he's just gonna say it. That's how this video goes.
They permitted lifestyles.
Yes, this is the best day of my life.
Really?
Come on, come on.
This is disgusting.
and worship gods that
I'm going back to. You know what? I'm gonna do some.
Permitted lifestyles. What the fuck is freedom supposed to be? You can't permit lifestyles that we don't agree with.
I think I'm gonna go back and do some postdoctorate work at PragerU.
That's insane.
I think I might teach there. At least do research.
they did lots of things that here in 1493 I do not agree with. They permitted lifestyles and worship gods that, as a Christian, I think is very bad.
Gay sex and Zeus, not having it. Pass.
That doesn't mean I
Miss me
should
with that
respect
shit.
and honor all the incredible and amazing things they did.
Okay.
So, good and bad is based on the time you live in?
That is a great question.
Maybe
I
not so
told you I knew you
stupido
were
anymore.
smart. Some things are clearly bad, no matter when they happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
From our
like
perspective.
slavery, genocide.
What about before humanity and post humanity? Are there things that are clearly bad without the subjective experience of human beings to judge that?
No.
Exactly.
But for other things, before you judge, you must ask yourself, what did the culture and society of the time treat as no big deal?
Was the culture gay? Was it one of the gayer cultures? That's important.
Not everyone can time travel as you do and see how normal becomes very not normal.
Some things are, some things aren't. Sounds complicated.
It is, and so is life. And history can be too. If people
They all disappeared.
I mean, look,
they all disappeared on that frame.
well, the actors had
They're
taken
having a tough time.
the actors had taken a break here, and they accidentally left in a frame of when they were off camera.
If people in your time want to celebrate me for being a perfect hero, then they are very mistaken. Only
Oh,
my
because that's
Lord and
actually what
Savior
I've been doing.
Jesus Christ is perfect, and I hope to spread his.
Compromise. Let's rename Columbus Day Jesus Day, because he the real MVP.
Mistaken. Only my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is perfect, and I hope to spread his teaching to all the lands I find.
All
that
of
don't
these
know his
heathen
name.
savages.
But
His mouth just
I
shifted.
don't like what's happening there.
It was
And
weird.
please don't say it looks like another thing, because I can't possibly take it.
in your time want to celebrate the guts I had to get this journey approved, start
To
it,
try to sail to
survive it,
Asia,
and
not sail to Asia.
back to tell about it? Well, that seems pretty good for any time and age.
I think
Yeah, it's a really interesting phrasing to say spread Christianity when you really mean kill non-Christians.
I mean, what? Answer me this. Answer me this. What better way is there to make the population more Christian than to get rid of the people who aren't Christian? After you do that, I guarantee you're going to be left with a lot more Christians.
you're right. Thanks for answering our questions, Mr. Columbus.
It worked for him, and it can work for me.
Courageous explorer, and you've given me a lot to think about. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, kids. Now, let me lock you up and show you to the King and Queen of Spain.
What?
He's making a joke about enslaving them, and he's gonna say, "Just kidding," I guess.
Oh, just kidding. You're white.
Just kidding.
You're white.
Safe travels, my friends.
Bye.
Zap.
That's terrifying.
Columbus sure had a crazy
Did
life.
is the frame cut off, or is he not a free thinker anymore?
I don't know.
I'm gonna need a wider shot.
He made 3 more journeys across the ocean to the New World.
And it seems like most of the negative
Was it Asia
reports
that he made the journey across the ocean to, that he was looking for? That was the whole point of his journey? Never mind.
about him come
I'm
from
just glad this
people who
kid's
were his
Pac-Mans are where they're supposed to be.
I don't think Christopher Columbus was a villain. And maybe he wasn't a hero, but he sure did some heroic things that are
But
definitely
at least
worth
give him a
celebrating.
day.
I don't.
Come on.
Okay. It's an interesting video.
You might
And
call
a
it a
lot of
pretty
things he-
nuanced, reasoned video.
judge him for
Sounds like
now
someone
was
owes someone an
normal
apology.
in his time.
They're gonna kiss at the end, right?
What's a good example of something that's like normal to do right now, but like still you shouldn't do?
We don't know. Otherwise, we'd have stopped doing it.
Like, did everybody rape and pillage, or just like
A lot.
like that's in the history books because it was an important thing that happened?
I mean, it was a
Like,
pretty
did
important
everybody
thing that happened.
participate?
I don't know if everybody raped and pillaged, but there was some going on for sure.
I don't know. I'll need to think.
I
about
mean,
it.
you can do a little bit as a treat.
I don't think Christopher Columbus was a villain. And maybe he wasn't a hero, but
He was certainly a villain to a culture of people that got genocided by him.
I think there would be a group of people that may consider him further towards villain on the spectrum than hero. Yeah.
Yeah.
he sure did some heroic things that are definitely worth celebrating.
And a lot of the things we
Like
judge
not
him
sailing
for
to
now
Asia.
were just normal in his time.
Man, we should go back to his time. Then we can do slavery.
You never know, Leo. Maybe some of the things we're told are fine today will be considered evil or crazy in the future.
Incest?
Like certain lifestyles.
That really
And praying to certain gods.
made my day.
But being courageous and wanting to explore the world are things worth admiring in any century.
Oh, you're scary. You're scary. Don't look at me.
I fucked her.
All right.
If you'd like to
Hold
time
on.
travel with
Chris
Leo
still
and Layla
talking.
again, please visit PragerUkids.com
No child wants to
and
time
watch
travel with
more of
Leo and
their
Layla
adventures.
again.
Caramba!
They weren't the
Thank
most
you for
captive.
watching
Hey,
this
what's
video.
up?
To keep PragerU videos free,
Hold on, let me
please
write this
consider
down.
making a tax-deductible donation.
I am considering it.
To keep them free, like you would charge for this shit?
Oh yeah, the only thing standing between
You're up for another
this and a
reaction
paywall
tonight.
is
PragerU did a quiz show
is
for
us.
kids. All the questions are about political figures like Margaret Thatcher, which totally wouldn't be the most boring thing ever to most children.
If there's one thing I know about today's kids, is that they love conservative European leaders of the 1980s.
Hey, it's August of 2023. Let's update the list of $5 and up patrons. Tyler Cukes, Nico Fuentes, Joel999, Speak of the Joker, Pasha Florence, Coolest Shirt, Just a Portuguese Dude, www.openclassactions.com, Valence, Amil, Brackets, Big Guy, No Rope, T-King, Saliv88, Josh Jones, Harper has a tumor in her head the size of a peanut, Yup, Caden Mack, Charisma, the Super 1 player, Zachary Kane, Gillyflower, Purple Fire, Gabriel Herrera, Hoofy Doe, and Lemonade Warrior is participating in the hit game Among Us and is considered the encroacher. Thank you to everyone who helped me after my channel was falsely demonetized. You guys are all so cool. Thank you. Stay safe.